A lot of people think that Donald Trump's criminal trial in the Manhattan district is about Donald Trump paying a porn star $130,000 to keep her mouth shut. And that's not really true. In fact, that's not even really illegal. It's about how he went about it, how he committed fraud in the process. Now, to pay off Stormy Daniels, he had Michael Cohen take a loan and pay her off. Well, then, of course, he had to reimburse Michael Cohen, which he did. But when he reimbursed Michael Cohen, he called it a legal expense. Well, that's a problem because that's not what it was. And in fact, he had to cover it up so much he had to pay him back more than $130,000 because you see, if he was just paying back a loan, there would be no taxes. But if he was paying a bonus or some kind of fee, like he said he was, well, then there would be taxes. So Michael Cohen wouldn't really be reimbursed. He'd get the $130,000, then he'd have to pay taxes. So they had to fix that, and that's why Donald Trump paid him more, which is also weird because Donald Trump is incredibly cheap. He would never pay somebody more. He would just not pay them at all. But he felt compelled to pay Michael Cohen more because this was important. Now, when you talk to Donald Trump's team and Donald Trump himself, he said, oh, this had nothing to do with the election. Had nothing to do with the election. It was about not embarrassing my wife and my family. Okay, fair enough. But then explain this. When he paid Stormy Daniels, had her sign an NDA prior to the election. But then a month after the election, they said, okay, you don't have to be under the NDA anymore. You can do whatever you want. So you're telling me you're afraid that your family would find out, but as long as it's after the election, it doesn't fucking bother you. Yeah, you see, there's a lot of weird shit here, a lot of bad information that isn't going to be good for Donald Trump. Now, David Pecker will be on the stand tomorrow, and David Pecker is going to go into depth about his connection with Donald Trump and how they had this catch and kill deal. But what you need to remember, prior to the trial starting, there's going to be a hearing about Donald Trump's gag order violations. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to cuff Donnie and throw him in jail tomorrow, but I think he's going to get some serious warnings. And if he does anything while in court or outside of court, he isn't going to get a second chance. I don't know. We have to make him accountable at some point because he's just going to keep doing this. He's going to turn the trial into a circus. And I know Judge Juan Marchand isn't the kind of guy to want to fuck around. So the hearing first thing in the morning about the gag order, that's going to be interesting. And then listening to what David Pecker gives up on his buddy Donald Trump later in the day.